Hi Cancer, welcome to your video for the month of November. This video is for Cancer's Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you like the content that I share, please click the like and subscribe down below. And Cancer, okay, I did your reading in the opposite order that I normally do this in. I did your astrology first, and then I did your reading. I normally do the reading, then I look into astrology, and then like a name will come to mind for the reading. But with you, there's so much going on with your astrology that I kind of want to just jump into that first, and some of that definitely plays out in the reading. So you have, let's see, there's so much I could talk about. The North Node is sitting in your 12th house, so you could feel illumination around your subconscious. This is also the house of our hidden enemies. So over the past year and a half, you might have been reassessing your inner circle, those you trust, those you confide in, and the people that you want to keep closest to you, that that you feel like you can trust. And sitting across from the North Node, you have the South Node in your 6th house. This is your house of work and routine and health. And the South Node is generally trying to pull something out of our lives during that long, about like 18-month transit that it takes. So as it's going through your 6th house, you could at this time, especially in the month of November, feel like there's a shift in your work life, something in your routines, could be related to your health as well, but the work thing came up in your reading as well. So I wanted to highlight that. And then in your 8th house, this is super significant, you have Jupiter and you have Saturn. And Jupiter is about to make its way out and it'll enter into your 9th house. I think that happens around the end of this year. And Jupiter is expanding, offering the opportunity for blessings, for gifts, just for beautiful, beautiful things to come through in this area of transformation, death and rebirth. This is also around spirituality and around shared resources, right? So that's that Jupiter transit. However, Saturn is there too. And where Jupiter is all about expansion, Saturn is all about restriction. And Saturn also, through the 8th specifically, can be a placement that can indicate a time of realigning more with our authenticity. If things have been kind of like fake in our environment, that can start coming to light, and those things can actually just start getting like shed out of our life. So if there's anything not aligned with authenticity, this could be a spiritual awakening transit as well, Saturn through the 8th. And you just might have more illuminated around you, Cancer, at this time for what's for you and what's not for you. And so I just want to highlight one last thing about that with the astrology, because as I was thinking about Saturn and Jupiter there, I was like, this is a really tricky time in regards to contracts. I thought that before I did your spread, but we'll get into that because it's here too. It's a really tricky time for contracts because something that might look really like glittery and gold and abundant, there's restrictions somehow tied into this. And it might not be felt until something more like Aquarius season, like once Jupiter fully moves out and into your 9th house, and then Saturn is still sitting there like teaching you the lessons around shared resources. So there could be something that looks really shiny and really attractive and easy to sign on the dotted line, especially if it's in regards to, it's any contract actually, so it could be love or partnership and work. But that's the Saturnian lessons of it wouldn't come until later after Jupiter leaves. So I wanted to throw that out there because that feels really significant, and there might be a need right now to kind of reassess the contracts that you have in your life. All right, let's get into your energy as the 9 of Pentacles. This could come up in a couple of different ways, either wanting to form a partnership with someone, right? Because 9 of Pentacles in the upright is ultimate independence and freedom and stability, typically financial stability, as a single person, right? So you could be looking into getting married, at this time with this card coming out. This also can be especially tied into that work message with the South Node. This could be feeling as though a work opportunity, maybe even like one large client that you have, suddenly like pulls out. All of a sudden you don't have that opportunity anymore. And this could leave you feeling really ungrounded in the month of November. Now, I don't want to scare you, so if that doesn't resonate, like don't take it, right? But something around like work could feel just a little bit like unstable at this time, if that resonates. In your environment, you got the Page of Wands. This is awesome. If you are a creative, it's likely that you are going to receive a message. The pages are messengers. So this could indicate a message around a new project, somebody that wants to take you on board to fill some creative position or role with them. There's something really exciting here around creative projects. I feel that for like work related, but it could be something that's a passion project, or if you've been starting a side business, this could be really, really exciting for that. Now, in your 9-card spread, the reassessing. Let's get into the middle card, 10 of Wands in the reverse. Cancer, you or people in your close circle could be assessing responsibilities. Who is taking on more responsibilities than what's actually theirs to hold, right? Where are you or someone else taking on someone's stuff? This could be in your work life, your friend circle. It could be romantic for someone. But I think whatever this is, it's taken some time to accumulate and maybe even to get to the point where you're being honest about all the burdens that you've been holding. And you could be super tired at this time. First card out, 4 of Swords. There could be a deep need for rest, for rejuvenation, for healing. 4 of Swords is also a healing card. You may be feeling a need to tap back in more to your own energy and your own restoring of your own energy. Because what could be indicated here with all these Wands cards in the reverse is that maybe someone, I just would think about Cancer, if someone in your environment is giving you a bunch of burdens, especially if these are work projects, if someone's giving you a bunch of burdens, maybe they don't even know they're doing it. Like maybe this is some subconscious behavior or something, or unconscious behavior, and you're taking on a lot. It is very likely that at the time of this reading or the start of November, you are really sitting back and looking at what's yours to take on and what's not, and focusing on refilling your own cup and serving from the overflow of that cup where you can. Because I think y'all have a lot going on. I think there's potentially a lot of partnerships, maybe a lot of clients that you're having to like reassess at this time, something like that. Next card out was the 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. This points, there's more than one card that does this, but this is what I was talking about with that Saturn and Jupiter and your house of shared resources. There are contracts that are needing to be reviewed in your life. These can be any kind of contracts, because I don't love seeing the 9 of Wands in the reverse next to this. There is an indication here of defensiveness on your part or others. And this could also be, like, even if this were in the upright, right, that wouldn't feel good. So you could be breaking your defensiveness around some past contracts now that you've done some reassessment, right? But what this also seems like to me more strongly is a little bit of like a runner-chaser energy, even if that somehow applies to your work life. Like someone that like comes in and makes a big promise and then runs away and doesn't fulfill it, and then comes back and tries again. Like something about that. There's like a seesaw or like a dodginess around this feeling to me. Pardon the noise outside if you hear it. And then Cancer, you could be dealing, especially if you're dealing with a difficult employer at this time. This Emperor in the reverse indicates that. Cancer, there is a strong indication of very stubborn energy here in this Emperor in the reverse. And I'll show you this whole row. You got 10 of Wands in the reverse, which this could be, by the way, like a forcing of the burdens being put down. at this time, it's like if they're in the upright in the center of your reading, it would indicate that you're closing out a cycle and putting down these wands yourself. But with it like this, it could be that you reach some point of exhaustion, Four of Swords, and something in your environment, could even be just like, you know, divine timing, like something that just happens, and all of a sudden you're forced to relinquish some responsibility or something. I don't know, take that how it resonates. But Emperor reversed, 10 of Wands reversed, 8 of Pentacles in the upright. This feels like work to me. The Emperor is generally a boss. That 10 of Wands, I just keep like feeling like that's responsibilities. And then 8 Pentacles. This is an investment of a lot of time and a lot of energy. And could have even been a lot of money, especially if there was like studying involved for something that you had to do. And this keeps going back to that reassessment of what's worth your energy and your time, and looking at things at face value, right? Because this is a super difficult energy to work with, an Emperor in the reverse. Like, that's that Kanye song, You Can't Tell Me Nothing, like that's what that is. That would almost be that if it was in the upright. So in the reverse, it's even more so. And I think being honest about whoever this person is in your life will be necessary. I sense it's someone in a work capacity somehow. Although the Emperor is a father figure too. That might resonate, I don't know. But either way, there is something around the need to put these burdens down, because I think with it in the reverse too, your environment is supporting you putting whatever burdens these are down. The Sun card, next card out. I love this. It feels like a piece of advice. It feels like leading into what brings you joy, wish fulfillment, happiness. You could have had something illuminated for you during Leo season. Take that if it resonates, but there's something here around like the summertime. It feels very different than the rest of this reading. And it does feel like a piece of advice to align with what brings you joy, wish fulfillment, and what leaves you feeling more grounded and stable. I feel like these two things are connected if it were in the upright, and came out like that. So that's a piece of advice. I think you're also gonna have to like defend your place on this hill. 7 of Wands coming out next to the Sun card. He is on a little hill, and I have another deck, I think it's called the Light Seer's Tarot, where she is in this bubble. It's almost like one of those like little like igloo, isn't that what they're called? Little like snow globe things. She's in this bubble and she's shielding herself. She's in this like super meditative state, and the wands are trying to like poke through the bubble and they can't reach her. So there might be a need at this time, especially in regards, it's coming up on top of that 3 of Pentacles in the reverse, in regards to your contracts, to stand your ground, to know clearly what you want, and to ensure that it aligns with something that will make you feel like this, right? I should point out here, we make ourselves feel like this, and then we bring that to the table. In the same way that earlier in the reading, I pointed out about filling up your cup so that people take from like the overflow, right? There could be something around that, and maybe seeing where you've maybe said yes to things that you meant no, or where it was easier in the moment to just like sweep your own feelings under the rug and like keep moving. And maybe those are the things that are actually coming up now and leaving you feeling so drained and maybe misunderstood. And maybe it's that place of misunderstanding in these contracts that has put you into this position of needing to be like, whoa, I need to reassess all of this. And then your last card out is the Hierophant in the reverse. This feels like a breaking of contracts. We've had a lot of reassessment. I've used that word a couple times up here, but the Hierophant reversed, this also feels like a piece of advice, because the Hierophant in the upright can be aligned with our beliefs and values that we hold. You could be reassessing a leader in your life, like somebody that you look up to as a leader. You could be looking at them kind of differently at this time, if that resonates. But this could also be saying to align your decisions, especially the contracts that you're signing or considering signing, align them with your personal beliefs and values, and the ones that bring you joy. I'm noticing this row over here, the 4 of Swords, with the Emperor reversed with the Sun card. What I like about this is that it's within your ability, if this stubbornness exists inside of you, or if the stubbornness exists in your environment or with a boss-like figure, that it's from this assessment and this like meditative place combined with bringing more of the sun energy into your life, which the sun also, by the way, is like, when we're looking at that in our chart, our sun is our personality, right? So if your sun sign is Cancer watching this, like that's resonant. Cancer qualities resonate with your personality. There's something here around aligning with your personality, with yourself. Maybe it's like your true like radiance and who you are, something like that, your authenticity, okay? And opening up to that meditative state that we get from the Four of Swords that feels like it overcomes this energy, the Emperor in the reverse. Especially since the way it came out, it's like sandwiched in between these two. And the sun coming up after this feels like it overwhelms it, kind of. All right. Cancer, that is your message for the month of November. If you like the content that I share, please click the like and subscribe down below. Have a beautiful month.